G'day and welcome to Deno QL, where today we are taking a look at SimCity, or SimCity 5, that came out in 2013, so 3 years ago now, and it was perhaps one of the worst received games from recent times, based on a few factors, namely the fact that it had always online DRM, and you were unable to play single player. Well, guess what, after a few patches they actually listened for once, and they made it into a single player, so you can now play single player offline, as I am doing here. So all these cities here, if I can show them right, all these cities here, of which there are just 2 at the moment, they're all my cities. So yeah, but anyway, let's just have a look at what this game actually brought. Well, the other big complaint that this game had is that the world maps are small. Like you can see here, this space is it. That's all you can build for your city. You can't expand these in any way. You can't really change much to them, but that's it. Like, you know, you can build in here, and that is the limit. So, for example, I can't make another highway going out this way because the block bar will stop me. But you can do a few other things, like, for example, you can have multiple cities. And one of the focuses they did on this game was actually having trade between cities. So for example, if you go to the region view, you can see here that I've got Minton over there, I'm in Rawton, and we got Denton over there. And you can do great works projects to make things together as like a goal. You can see where people's workers are going. Whoops, let's just focus back on there. But yeah, you can see like where workers are going, you can see where shoppers are going. You can hire like waste disposal or buy water, electricity, sewage from other cities. But yeah, that is, well, it's nice to have. Like, I am very fond of that system, but I would like a little bit more space as well. You know, just allow me to expand this out a little. That would be really nice to have. But it's something that we didn't get, I suppose. Let's just remove some of these buildings. So they do remove themselves eventually over time, but it's nice to just get rid of them sooner. But yeah, this is Rawton, so in this town we are focusing on mining. So we've got, for example here, we got an oil well that's just making, you know, oil, as I would expect. And it's also got a lot of industry, because I had issues with industry the other side. So here we got a coal mine. But if I zoom in, you'll see that the game is quite pretty. I mean, I've turned off the tilt shift effect. There's meant to be a tilt shift effect here, but I really didn't like it. I know some people really do, but for me, that was just so, I don't know what you would say, like over the top. I mean, you could just scale it, but it was just too much for me, so I disabled it. Yeah, there's a police station. We got our fancy buses. But yeah, so that is what it looks like for the town. If we just go over here, you can see we've got another factory over here, we've got another ore mine. And then we've got this sort of upper area I started building. So one of the things you also have to know if you've played other SimCity games is that in this one, everything has to be on a road. Like, you can't build something not attached to a road at all. So for example, if I go to the power, you'll see that all the power runs under the roads. And there is no power lines or anything. It all has to come through a road. Same with the water and the sewage. So basically, if you don't have them, you're going to be unable to actually, you know, build something, which is a real shame, because it would be nice to have a bit more. I think that's the thing I have with this game, is there's so many things, you know, would have been nice if they did just a little bit more, but, oh, well, what can you say? So yeah, so that's like the edges to the city. Let's just go have a look at one of my other cities. Let's just go have a look at Denton over here. So, I don't know why we have to go through a loading screen. I mean, this is the same engine, I'm pretty sure, as the one they used for Sims 4, which would explain some of the limitations that one had as well. And yes, I remember, this is the one where I was just trying to make something, so there's a bit of weird spacing around here. But if we go, for example, the overlay, and we go land value, you can see that this city has a decent bit of land value over here. Like, that's high wealth, then it's sort of got medium wealth along here, and then just low wealth. I mean, if I was really wanting to, I could have made this all high wealth, because there doesn't seem to be any limitations in this game. Like, there is no such thing as having too much of something, which is weird. Like, you could do this game entirely and not build any industry if you wanted to. I mean, you're commercial because they require the industry to make stuff from, to sell. They would whine constantly about it, but, you could get away with it still. So it's something that it feels, again, a bit weird that they did that. But also here, you see, I use the trains because these trains are basically useless, even though they look cool, because you can only place them over ground. There's no tunnels in this game, which is annoying. I mean, you got bridges, but bridges are sort of skeptical. See, I got this sort of like retarded looking bridge here, which just sort of goes across the front. There's another station there. And then if we keep following the train line, it ends up here. So you've got a nice beach here, but there's a train line running along it because that's the only space it would actually fit. And yeah, so that is this town. We've also got this expo center where you can schedule events, like, you can see here, and you have to spend some money to put the event on, but then you can make money, so they tend to be one easy way to make money. But as you can see here, I'm already doing fine. I'm making over 6,000 per hour, so I don't really have any money issues in this city. And that's another thing with this game, is that it's very hard not to make money. I mean, you can easily not make money if you sort of fail the initial setup, because you require like a few basic essentials. But once you've got everything established like you do here, there's not really much more to do with the game. It becomes very sort of micromanagement because you can't expand more. So that's why, in a way, you have to have that sort of, multiple cities, because without that, there's nothing really you can do. Like, also, you can see that city is so close, but I can't actually interact with it unless I go to the region view, click on it, and then load it separately. Which is another thing that, it would be handy to have, just to be able to switch over. But once this loads in, we can see, I've got some missions that I'm doing, but they don't really matter all that much. But yeah, this was the last city I was actually working on, and it was just a basic mining city. So you can see we've got a few things there. We've got the nice city on the skyline. Like, it does look nice, but it does lack a bit of substance, and that's probably one of the reasons this game got ridiculed so much. But if we go into the zoning, you'll see that you haven't got different tiers of zoning, you've just got the regular ones. So compare this game to, say, City Skylines, and there's a massive difference. Like, you just drag on here. But yeah, City Skylines has various different levels of zoning. Like, you can do low density and high density, which is something that would be nice to have here, but we don't have it. So yeah, this one is much more boring in roads. You can see it's all basically squared off. I have a bunch of residential over here, and you can see they want me to build more, but I can't because, well, this is all I can build. Like, I couldn't build any roads. Like, all these roads up here, I can't actually zone anything on. So these few houses, including that really weird house that is glitching the terrain, like, you try parking on that. That seems really difficult to park on. But yeah, it's like all this sort of stuff. There's so many little things that could have been done better than they were. And yeah, I think that's the thing with this game. It does have a nice road going down here, though. You can see a little bit of the tilt shift there. But yeah, it does have a nice look to it, but just wish it had a bit more. I mean, I really like that sort of linking of the cities. Like, this one, I buy most of my water and sewage from elsewhere, so that I don't have much locally, which is nice to have. Like, you can have it up so you have an entire, like, mega city, and have all its services outsourced to another city to basically produce everything that that one needs, which is nice. But I just wish it could be expanded a little more, But, so this game is currently $10 on Origin. That's 10 Australian dollars. I don't know what it is internationally. That's as part of a sale. So for $10, I'd say it's maybe worth it because they remove the online stuff. Just be aware that if you want a pure city builder, there's ones like, obviously, City Skylines that do it way better. But, which is weird to say, given it's SimCity we're talking about. But yeah, if you want a game that's just sort of a relaxing one that you can just stick on in the background, then this one may be for you. And yeah, so until then, I'm Denodon, this is SimCity, safe living.